Hello, online crew. Today, I'm going to share with you how I've been changing up my content a little bit and how that's been helping me attract more followers, more engagement, more leads, and even sales. So I hope what I'm sharing with you today will just give you like a couple of ideas that maybe you could go and explore content wise, or mix it up a little bit with your content, that it could help you like achieve the same. For those of you in my coaching community, we just finished live Q&A Zoom call 1 for June, and I went into this in a lot more detail, shared with you kind of exactly what I did and went into really good depth about it. So you get a really good insight into my business and what's been working for me if you go and watch the replay of that live Q&A Zoom call. So the replay is already sitting in the coaching community group right now. So if that's you, go and catch that replay. We had a great call, and even around mindset issues, because we were talking about in that call how a lot of people in this industry actually know what they should be doing. Like you really do. You know what you should be doing. You're just not doing it for some reason. So we talked a bit about mindset as well and how to get around that, and a bit of a strategy to overcome that as well. So I know that replay will help those of you in my coaching community. So grab that. So many of you will know, obviously, my situation at the moment is a little bit different. I'm going through some health challenges. I'm going through chemotherapy treatments that knocks me around on the weeks that I have them. I'm not posting as much as I would normally do. I have to be very mindful of the balance between my health and work and all the things that I'm doing. And what I'm noticing after 3 treatments of chemo is my mornings start pretty well, but by about lunchtime, I'm really starting to fade. So things are starting to sort of kick in a little bit more. So the next few weeks ahead of me are probably going to be a little bit tougher. In all of that, and why I share that though, is obviously things are a little bit different for me in my business. I'm not necessarily working as much as I would normally do, but I'm still very much committed to my business. I still want results. I still want sales. I still want leads. I still want engagement. So I'm still very much committed to my business. But I've been mixing things up a little bit. And interestingly, what's happened over the last week or so is, it's really caught my attention. So I've actually grown like over 2,000 followers on TikTok and Instagram in the last kind of week or so. It might be a little bit longer than that, maybe a couple of weeks, because of what I've been doing. So not only am I increasing my following, and there's a reason for that with the type of content that I've been posting, but it's brought me a lot more engagement, like through the roof engagement compared to normal. Like all my stats are up when I look at my insights, like over like 200% and things like that. So engagement is up, which has then indirectly brought me more leads to the content that I've been putting out that is not even, I haven't even got a call to action for anything, but it's bringing me leads. So I'll give you some example, and then I'll share with you kind of what I've been doing. So my point to all of this is for you to think about a couple of things here. One, and if you've listened to any training of mine, particularly over the last few months, I've been saying this for years, but it's even more important now. Human connection is what you're going for online. If you want to boost your business online, you've got to boost the human connection that you have with your audience to build the know, like, and trust, because people only buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Okay. So if you're not letting people get to know you in some way, and I've also shared many a times, it doesn't mean that you have to share everything about your life. And like some people think that they need to get really vulnerable and share everything. You don't need to share everything, but you do need to let the walls down a little bit and let people into your life so that at least they trust you. And when there's human connection and trust, then people will be happy to buy. If you don't have that human connection and that trust, then no one's going to buy anything off you. So I'll give you some examples of some videos that I've put up recently and the results that they've got from them. And you can kind of see what I've been doing a little bit differently. So firstly, when I got out of hospital, like I dropped the ball. I hadn't posted anything for like 2 weeks, just completely kind of disappeared. So I just thought, I'll do a video just explaining kind of where I'm at. Okay. That story, that video got me 12 this is TikTok. I'll give you the TikTok like stats. And then, yeah, Instagram is very same. Like what I post on TikTok, I post on an Instagram as well. And pretty much it mirrors, the same kind of results. There might be slightly lesser views and engagement, but it mirrors kind of what's happening. So the one that I shared regarding my kind of story, like 12.6K views, 143 comments, and 24 saves. Like 24 people took the time to kind of save just my story. Okay. Then I shared shortly after that, like how I've had to adapt what I'm doing with my health journey and how I can no longer do intermittent fasting, which is part of my brand that I talk about because I've got to take so many medications in the morning, etc. So I shared a little bit of my story and what I'm doing differently, which actually led to a product, that one. So that had 29K views, 565 comments. So that's people asking for product information, and 161 saves to that video. Okay. Then last week, after my chemo treatment, I actually did a video, and I talked about this last week as well. I did a video from my bed. And I literally said, like, this is about as real and raw as it gets, but, and yeah, if you want to see any of these content, just go to my TikTok or my Instagram. The one that's Menopause and Hormone Harmony is the name of it. So that was 6,500 views, 133 comments, and 5 people saved it. Why anybody's saving a video of me talking from my bed, I don't know. But then I thought, right, I need to, because I always talk about keep the main thing the main thing. Okay. So if you've got a particular product that you would like to promote and sell, like you want to keep the main thing 80% of the time. So I did a video and shared that regarding the main thing, the main product. And I thought it would do better than it did, but it didn't really. Like this month has been tough. I've been out of hospital. I've been back in the game. I've been doing videos. I've been doing content, and everything that I've put out there, like initially earlier in the month, nothing was really moving. So my thought process, I was just sharing this with the coaching community members, is not, woe is me, nothing's working, and then not posting anything. It's like, how can I mix things up a little bit? So this is how I've been mixing things up a little bit. So, but I'll always keep the main thing the main thing. So I did a video on like my main product, and it didn't really go as well as what I thought it would. And so then my next thought is, okay, what can I do to boost that? Now, I know through years of being on, the platforms, is that when you continue to post and you're consistent, it boosts all your other content. If you take yourself out of the game and you're not consistent with posting, you're letting all your content down. But when you continue to post, whether it's related to business or product is irrelevant, it keeps you in the algorithm. And if it's interesting and people want to watch it, it boosts all your other videos and all your content. So I'm like, okay, that video didn't do very well in the algorithm, but I know it's a good video and it's got a good call to action. What can I post next to boost that one? That was my thought process. So I went and found an older video that did really well. And it was just, in my case with my brand, it was just a recipe, but it did really well last year. So I just grabbed that and I repurposed it and I put that up next. Okay. So it's a repurposed video. Like keep that in mind. Like I did it last year. So it's still got second time round. Well, I've actually posted it more than once, 46K views, 55 comments, and 1,235 saves. Okay. Then there was something I did, and there's something like what you really want to know about your brand and what you do is who you help and what problems you solve. The thing that should be on the forefront of your mind is, and what you should talk about in your content and what you should concentrate on is the problems you solve. Okay. And talk to that. So I did a video and I put a video up, and I've explained this in massive detail in the coaching community regarding a problem that I know a lot of the women that I have that talk to that suffer with, and it was solving that problem. Okay. That video currently has got 93,000 views. Oh, my phone's over there. I can't refer to it, but it's got over like 100 comments and over 3,000 saves. Over 3,000 people saved my video. Why? Because it was solving a particular problem. And it was simple. I gave them an action to do. And I know if they do that action, they're going to get a result. Okay, that's what I always fall back on with Mel Robbins, that she does extremely well. She makes things simple. She gives people an actionable item, which is simple. And if they do it, it gets them result. So what content are you putting out there, which is simple, giving people an action that will give them a result? Have a think about that. And how much are you sharing about your journey? So what I'm inserting into my content more often is more of my personal story without product or business. So I'm just sharing more vulnerably about what's going on for me, but there's always an inspirational message attached to it. It's not woe is me. I don't think like that. I don't want sympathy. I don't share for those reasons. So there's always kind of an inspirational message to it. So the combination of keeping the main thing, which is what I'll always say. What's happened for me is that video that I did that kept the main thing, it didn't do very well. So again, instead of me thinking, oh, woe is me, nothing's working at the moment, it's like, what can I do to boost that video? It's like, I'll go and find an older video that went really well and I'll repurpose that. And it worked again. So that video boosted my following, my views, engagement, all the rest of it. But here's what happens. When people find you and they like you and you've got content that is helpful and relevant to them, then they go and watch all your other videos, and then the lead flow came back again. Not because I posted any more content with a call to action for my product, because I put other videos around it and other content around it that was more interesting, relevant, building human connection and solving the problems of my target market. So as I said, I've increased my following on TikTok by over 2,000 people and almost 2,000 people on Instagram in the last week or two by inserting these kind of other videos that are more me just talking about my journey. So the storytelling component. So are you doing that? There's that side of it. And also know your target market so well. You know, what problems do they have? And do some videos which are educational and valuable, which don't talk about a product or don't talk about your business. That's how you build trust. That's how you build human connection. And when they like you and they find you interesting and they like a piece of content of yours, they will go looking at your other content. And so that kind of content, what I'm finding is boosting all my other content. So I'm still waking up to leads every single day, but I'm actually posting a little bit differently. I'm posting different content. It's not always leading to, product or business or anything like that. It's just I'm sharing more. So more sort of storytelling and just being vulnerable about what's going on, not from a woe is me perspective though, but from there's always a message, inspirational message attached to it. So you got to put that into perspective. But also the video that I've got that's had over 93,000 views, that's because I know my target market and I speak to women all the time that are struggling with certain things. And this video was addressing one of those things. So naturally it kind of worked. So when you boost your following and you boost your engagement, those people go and watch all the other videos where you've got the call to actions for the product. So it's boosted my leads again. Are you getting the idea? I just hope this makes you kind of think about how you can mix up your content a little bit. So just to sort of summarize this, storytelling, and I've said this over and over and over again, the storytelling component of what you do and what you're going through. And if you're selling a product, the product probably solves something. And if you've been on that product, you've got your own story. Do you share that enough? Like maybe you've shared it once or twice, but are you sharing it enough? Are you really connecting with other people that are struggling with the same thing that you might have struggled with? So have a think about that. Maybe you could increase that a little bit. And getting more, like I've been much more raw and vulnerable and honest and just letting the walls down a little bit. And that builds human connection, which builds trust. So have a think about that for yourself as well. Are you still got too many walls up? Like just let some down. And remember, you don't have to divulge everything about your life when you let walls down. There's lots of things that people don't know about my life, and they will never know about my life. You don't feel like you have to be an open book, completely. Repurposing content that's worked previously. I say this over and over again. No one remembers what you posted 90 days ago, probably even 30 days ago. So if you've had content that's worked well, work smarter and not harder, and repurpose the crap out of your content. If that is short form video as well, it goes out to new people every time it goes out. So the likelihood of somebody even seeing it the same is very, very small. It's going out to new people all the time. So huge missed opportunity if you're not repurposing your content. Even on Facebook, like I scroll back my own Facebook and my posts, and I will repurpose older posts that got some good engagement. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. Know your target market really, really, really well, and know the problems that you solve for that target market really, really well. And when you're thinking of content ideas, you talk to those problems. That's what you want to go deep with AI with. That's where you want to kind of research topics to talk about on short form video or posts, is speaking to the problems, to the people that you've got a solution for. Okay, really, really focus on that. Okay, when you post good content that is not promoting a product or a business, but it's relatable to people, and they think, they can see themselves in your story, they can see themselves in your struggle, or they can be inspired by what you're going through, that human relatability builds trust, and they'll want to keep following you. And what you have to share. So that, the consistency piece is really important, because every time you back off, you're letting down your algorithm. And I can't tell you enough how important it is to keep on posting, even if it's not product or business related, because it boosts all your other content. Every single time I have a video that's not product or business related that goes really well, I get more leads from my other content, because more people are finding me. I'm getting new eyeballs, I'm getting new followers, I'm getting much more engagement. That drives the algorithm, and more people are seeing my stuff. And then they go poking around and watch all my other videos. So my lead flow's gone up again. Okay. So keep showing up. It doesn't always have to be about product or business. Just remember these kind of key things that I've been sharing with you. And, it just might boost things a little bit for you. And just remember, like I said before, when things aren't working, like for majority of this month, things haven't been working for me. It's not that I haven't been trying. It's just like, man, none of my videos are really getting any views, and my following has slowed up, and the lead flow is slowed. Like, what can I do? So I'm always kind of thinking of things that, okay, maybe I could do this and maybe I could do that. And that's what I've done the last couple of weeks. And, it's absolutely worked. So I hope those of you that are posting on social media and looking for some more ideas, that there is something that I've said in this video that just gives you a little bit of inspiration or an idea to try a little bit of, creativity in your content, or something a little bit different. Test and evaluate, test and evaluate, test and evaluate. Don't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. So if you're not getting the results that you want, you're not getting the following, you're not getting the engagement, you're not getting the leads, you're not getting the sales, you have to mix things up. And it's only when you get creative and mix things up that you work out, oh, that worked really well, like I've done in the last sort of week or so. I'm always testing and evaluating. So I hope this inspires you in some way to go and test and evaluate some different pieces of content. Okay. So I will leave that with you. I will see you next week. Next week is a chemo week for me. So I will delay my first live of the week by one day, because I've found that I can't go live straight after chemo. I learned that last time. But yeah, I'll still be live next week, a couple of times next week. I'm just going to push my first live video of the week a day later, just to give myself a day to recover. So I will see you guys next week. I hope there's something that you got out of this video. Go and implement though from what I shared. Bye.